All right, so I just needed to make this video because I am sick and tired of seeing Monday.com's freaking ads on YouTube and everywhere I go that talks about their sales CRM. Monday.com, is it a great software? Sure, it's a great software, but not when it comes to their CRM solution. Okay, I just don't believe that they should be advertising for a sales CRM, and here's why. Okay, so if you know me, I'm all about scaling businesses. I'm all about systems. I'm all about making sure that you are laying the foundation so that your team has a way to scale. And when it comes to Monday.com as a project management system, they're fantastic at that. Making sure that your entire team can see what's going on and the processes that are happening throughout a project and making sure they know who's dropping the ball, being able to upload tasks, and they're just really great for project management. Okay, but when it comes to the sales CRM part, I think that what they're doing when they're running these ads for sales CRM, they're attracting a lot of people who don't really know anything about sales CRMs, right? And if you're going to sell your software, you need to make sure that you're selling with integrity. So when I'm using, okay, I'm just gonna try to give you like an analogy, right? That I feel is relevant for this. So when I'm using the restroom, there's a couple things that I expect, and I expect them to work a certain way, right? Like if I go into a restroom, I expect toilet paper. I expect there to be a little trigger so when I flush the toilet, my shit goes down, right? There's these different things that we expect, and it's from everything in life, and it's not really different when it comes to your software that you use inside of your business either, right? So when I'm using a sales CRM, I expect it to be intuitive. I expect it to not be overcomplicated. I expect it to give me every resource possible to be able to close a deal, okay? So and why is this coming up and why is this so fresh in my head? So I currently have right now a friend who owns a construction company who is using Monday.com as a sales CRM. And he was basically, I forgot how this conversation came up. Hey, Pepe, do you remember how the conversation came up for the sales CRM specifically?
It was when you guys shot the podcast. That's when it first started.
Oh, right. Yeah, you know what? Right. So I was shooting a podcast. So if you guys want to go find the episode, you can go see it on there, or back at our YouTube videos for the guy who has built a multi-million-dollar construction company. But yeah, we were talking about it on the podcast, and basically it came up where he had complaints about his CRM because the collaboration's just not there. And also too, I was talking to him a little bit about how my CRM works, and because my CRM is badass. I currently use HubSpot. My company uses the starter platform. We're not even on the pro because I mean, the amount of free stuff you get with HubSpot is crazy. And then on top of that, when it comes to like their starter package, it's just ridiculous. Everything that comes with it. We haven't even maximized that out yet to the point where we need the pro. So, what was happening inside of that conversation, right? So pretty much I just got to asking him all these questions, and he was just letting me know that like, hey, we don't have the level of collaboration. And I just feel like we're not getting everything out of Monday.com that we can get. So what did I do? I started immediately doing some research. And again, because I've been getting bombarded with all of these ads from Monday.com specifically for their sales CRM. And it's crazy because like they advertise with the visual of like their reports, like, oh, you can create custom reports and you can do custom this and custom that. So when I went to go look at like integrations with some popular phone systems that are out there, like AirCall, like Dialpad, like OpenPhone, the fact that like you have to do some mapping, you have to select options, like this is ridiculous. In this market today, you shouldn't have to go through any of those steps, especially when you have like bigger CRM companies like HubSpot and Salesforce who make it easy for you to get those integrations in. And by the way, like when it comes to a sales CRM, you shouldn't be making a decision on a CRM. Well, I guess there's so many options out there. Like the options for sales CRMs are crazy and they're constantly coming out. But I think when you're making the decision on your sales CRM, you're looking for something that's best in class, right? You're looking for something that especially because for most companies, right, or for all companies, marketing and sales should be 90% of our focus as small business owners. Especially if you're under $10 million, that is where your priority goes. So after looking at it, I just immediately knew like no, this is not it. So I then went to go have a little meeting with my friend. And keep in mind, like he had already paid a consultant to help him put together the Monday.com CRM. He had already paid people to help him set it up. So obviously, like if you're paying people, you feel like I've put money into this. It's probably built right. But after sitting down with him for 2 hours, breaking things down, importing contacts into HubSpot for him, it just blew his mind. Okay, especially because like if you go look at Outsource Plug, and you look at all of our deals and you backtrack, to deals from 3 or 4 years ago, we can open up a customer profile inside of HubSpot and we can see every single phone call, text message, email that's ever happened. We can see every contract that we've ever sent out, everything that's ever been signed, every deal that's ever been ran through with that client. If they have multiple, if it's one company with multiple people, you can see the dialogue that happens with each individual person, or you can see it on a company-wide level. We can literally see how many times this person has been contacted. We can see what pages they've landed on our website, how many times they visited our website, if they've interacted with any of our social media ads, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Google ads, LinkedIn, doesn't matter. We can see literally everything. If they've booked calls on our calendar, everything is all right there, right in front of you, right? And you really, when you're using HubSpot, you don't even have to do much work to get that set up. It's literally like most of their integrations are like you go to the marketplace store, you click on integration, you find the integration, click on it, and it usually just syncs it on its own. You don't need to be a genius. You don't really need to know how to map fields. You don't need to know all this other garbage. HubSpot takes care of that for you. And for the average entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur that's really good at construction, stick to what you know. Like you should have software that takes care of the heavy lifting for you. It's kind of like if you have somebody who, you're telling, hey, use my CRM, but you got to build it on your own and you got to customize it on your own. Man, that's like giving like a random person who has never painted a house before a paintbrush and a bucket and saying, hey, just paint this wall. Which, can anybody paint a wall? Sure. Is it going to come out as nice as a professional painter? Hell no. That's not the case. So anyway, if we're going to go over, different like pros and cons, right, of HubSpot, and I'm saying HubSpot too, and I have like, I should probably make like another video about Salesforce because I have another client who, spent like almost 30 grand trying to implement Salesforce, and they did it over about 4 months. And he'll testify for me on this on video, whatever. Basically that whole solution tanked, and I built everything that it took 4 months to build in one weekend, and I built it better on HubSpot. And it's not even that I built it better on HubSpot. It's just that HubSpot is a way better freaking software. I'm kind of a groupie. I don't get paid for referrals from them, which, they've offered it and I probably should. But again, when something is just built extremely well, when it's worked for me personally, for my company, it's been a pillar in the growth of my company. I'm very, very passionate about it, right? And before I even go into like some of these pros and cons, I think there's just like some common logic, right? Like if you've used Monday.com, you see how it moves from left to right. It's like unlimited, like infinity left to right, right? And I don't think humans work that way. And I know that they have different views, right? There's different views, but like humans don't really work this way, right? It's like you think about what we do every day. We read a newspaper, we read a book. We read from left to right, and mainly in America, right? There's some cultures that read from right to left, but regardless, what we're used to is here's this box, and we go up, and down, right? Up and down. I know I did that opposite, whatever. For those of you who are watching the video and are not on the podcast. All right, so let's go over some of the pros of HubSpot, right? So number one, it's going to be free to use. Number two, you're going to have a wide range of integration with other business tools. Okay, and I cannot say enough about this, guys. When I say like these guys are integrated, like if you go look at their logo, this is what blew my mind about HubSpot when I finally got it. When I looked at the HubSpot logo, it's literally a circle that connects to other things. And that is like a true testament to their software. Because when you're using their software, like there's literally softwares that I never ever planned on using within HubSpot. And then, then I go use it and I'm like, holy shit, they have a HubSpot integration. This is great. So in terms of integrations, I think that this is a big part of their company. They want to make sure that they can integrate with as many tools. And a lot of times too, they'll even integrate with tools that are in direct competition with them, right? Which just blows my mind. Number three is going to be the robust set of features for managing customer interactions and data. All right, guys. So for those of you who are watching this, you're watching this because you're interested in a sales CRM. It's really, really easy to get lost in the sauce with HubSpot, okay? There's so many different tabs. There's so many different things. There's so much to explore within HubSpot. And again, it's so easy to get lost. So I'm going to encourage you, if you are somebody who is looking just specifically for a sales CRM, you need to live within the contact section and within the contact section. And I believe it's the sales section. Let me just take a look because I don't want you guys to get confused. Because again, like there's the service section, there's the marketing section, and all of this stuff it's so easy to like, get really lost in this. But yeah, so you want to focus on the contact section where it says contacts, companies, and calls. And probably even just contacts and companies. Don't worry too much about calls for now. And then under sales, the deals section, right? Because realistically, what are we trying to do as a sales team? We have a list of contacts, which is a big pool, right? That this is our bigger database. And our job is to sift through this entire pool by cold calling, by emails, by whatever's part of your sales process. And the entire objective is to get them into your pipeline, right? So let's say you could have 10,000 people inside of your pool, maybe only 1,000 of those are potential clients, right? So our whole job is to get them over to the sales pipelines, and that's what you're going to find under the deals section. So I would literally, again, if you're looking for a sales CRM, those are the two things that I'm going to focus on. Probably another crucial part is going to be setting up the There's a Google Chrome extension. You can just type in Google HubSpot extension or whatever, it pops up, and that's the extension that's going to allow you to view when emails get opened as well as auto log your emails. I've talked about this before in another video. You definitely need a voice over IP system as well. You need to get off your cell phone if you're somebody who is still running your business from your cell phone, but you got to get off that sucker because otherwise you're going to stay small. You can't grow with your business on a cell phone, okay? But again, there's a whole nother video on that. You can go check that out. So coming back, okay? And because the third point again is a robust set of features. So don't get lost in that. The fourth is going to be large and active user community. All right, so guys, when I say when I'm trying to solve problems, it's funny because I get paid to consult for companies, and they'll come and ask me a question, and all I literally do is go to Google, boop, 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 type in friggin' whatever the problem is for HubSpot, and there's already forums there that literally answer the questions and give the solutions. There's so many friggin' users with HubSpot. HubSpot literally encourages their users to become professional users and answer questions and add to their knowledge base. And these are guys that are running very successful agencies, and they're putting out their best practices for all the rest of the users to use, right? And also too, HubSpot has freaking HubSpot University, which, dude, I've learned so much just from using the university and just from watching their freaking videos, man. It's insane how much knowledge they actually give for free. Blows my mind, okay? And of course, they have positive reviews and a good reputation. I mean, they're one of the big dogs in the game. I can say this when it comes to HubSpot versus these other CRMs, like Salesforce, for example. HubSpot is just a lot more agile. They're a lot more agile. They're the only CRM software that I've ever really used. Uh, they're the only software that I've CRM software that I've ever used that is just like boom, you touch it, you know it. Okay. What are some of the cons of this software? Okay, so some users may find the interface to be somewhat cluttered or overwhelming, which I was kind of touching on that. Again, guys, this is why don't play with everything. If you are an advanced user like myself, if you're somebody who understands how to do a lot of this back end work, that's fantastic. Even then, you're probably an overthinker, and that's going to take you away from what's going to build your business, which is, again, get the freaking contacts in there and call them. Like, that's what a CRM is supposed to be for, right? So don't worry about all this other stuff. Another con, so some advanced features may require the purchase of additional paid add-ons or integrations. And that's going to be true. So there's going to be some add-ons that you're going to need depending on the vision of your CRM. And really, I would say cross that bridge when you get there, right? Because again, my friend, client, whatever, both, who was on Monday.com, who were moving over to HubSpot, he talked to the HubSpot rep, right? And he talked to the HubSpot rep, and the HubSpot rep was trying to sell him a $150 per month plan. And after talking to me, I'm like, dude, you can literally get like 90% of this stuff on the free. We can upgrade you to the starter, which is going to cost you like $100 a month, 150, something like that. And I think he's paying like $500 a month right now for Monday.com. So he's actually going to save money and get like literally everything that he wants. Sometimes you have to look at the features that you're looking at. When you're building out your processes, a big question that you have to ask yourself is, do I actually need this, or am I just innovating for the sake of innovating, right? And a lot of times we can get caught up in that. Sometimes we just want to continue to refine. But is this extra, 80% of effort worth it for the extra 5% in results that we're going to get, right? A lot of times the answer is no. All right, so pros of Monday.com. So you're going to have a customizable interface and workflows. I personally use a company called Podio.com. We have about 90 users within Podio. There's a little pricing hack there that I talk about in another video. It's actually on a podcast with my buddy Sam Cook, who put me onto that software. But let's just say it like this. I have clients that are paying Monday.com for their project management system over $1,000 a month for what I pay $48 a month for. Okay, are there going to be a little bit less features? Sure, but in terms of like the actual end product, being able to build out projects from scratch the way that your mind thinks of it, dude, it's all the same. So pretty much like Monday.com. It's cool because like, okay, I'm working with a judgment collection client, which is debt collection, but like a very specific niche. And she has this way that she does business that's very, it's just ingrained in her mind, right? She has all these processes and everything. And we've been able to build that within Podio, and I know that you can do the same thing within Monday.com. Because like when you go buy software for like debt collection, or the other thing would be like attorneys, none of them fit her process. None of them fit the way that, the way that she actually works in the real world, right? None of them do. So what Monday.com or Podio is going to allow you to do is going to allow you to create these custom workflows that you have mapped out in your mind and build them exactly how you want them to be built. Because again, like if you go use other softwares, you're building how they want you to build, and these softwares will let you build how you want to build your company. Now, if you are in an industry where there is a lot of people in your industry, like I'm talking insurance, I'm talking real estate, I'm talking, car dealerships, these industries where there's thousands upon thousands, if not hundreds upon hundreds of people in your industry, then there is likely a really great solution that has already built, that already has proven results, and you don't need to freaking rethink the wheel. I just happen to work in industries where like I can't go to Google and look up like how to start a successful virtual assistant agency and build it to $10 million. That's not fucking out there for me. So that sucks. When I was building the cannabis delivery service a few years ago, 6 years ago, you can't go to Google and say how to build a successful cannabis delivery service. The information is not there. More recently, right, my client's friend, partner, Brendan Shu, he is now the person where if you go look up like how to build a successful real estate marketing company, he's the dude giving all the resources now, right? But back 4 years ago, there was nobody doing it at his level. He's like one of the first people to build up a company that does like over like 5 million a year or something like that in that space. So even with him, he was building his entire process on Monday.com and was able to take that and build it into its own software, right? So again, we're talking about the pros of Monday.com. I'm not completely knocking it. I'm not dumb. Monday.com is not an extremely successful company for no reason. I just think that it needs to stay in its fucking lane. I think that as a sales CRM, it's trash. They have a wide range of integrations with other tools. And again, it's like I'm doing this video because I'm irritated because I just feel like they're advertising in the wrong category. Okay, so I'm not going to say that their integrations of tools is bad. I just don't think that again for the CRM, sales CRM specifically, it's not the same. And also thinking about it too, HubSpot, man, their Facebook ad integration's wild. Their Instagram, their whole marketing suite, once you start to get to know it, is fucking wild. Last pro, features for managing projects, tasks, and team collaboration. I kind of touched on that already. Cons, has a paid subscription model. Now, I haven't looked into the actual pricing of Monday.com. I just know that it is expensive, and I know that just because I've been doing this for so long, I'm just going to come here and just type in their pricing real quick. I've been doing this for so long, like I don't even recommend anybody use Monday.com because I understand their capabilities, and we use Podio. And Podio with Zapier, the combo is just dope. So yeah, for their basic, you're going to look at $8 a month. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know their pricing. I just know, like, again, I talked to my construction friend. He's paying $500 a month. Talked to my real estate marketing friend. They're doing over $1,000 a month with these guys. It's expensive. It can get expensive, let's say. Cons, some users may find the interface to be confusing or difficult to use. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, that's a big part of what I was talking about. Next, some features may be limited in the lower priced subscription tiers. Yeah, that's pretty much any software though. All right, so that's gonna wrap this up, guys. Again, I made this video because I'm a little irritated. Monday.com, please stop running ads for your sales CRM. Your shit sucks. If anything, if you guys have integrity, go and push all of your traffic to HubSpot and partner with them as the CRM side. Okay, because Monday.com, you are not it. And that's all, folks.